Good morning and welcome. We have a few people who have joined us this morning, and I'm super excited to have a conversation with you today and talk a little bit about you and your amazing services. But before we dive into our conversation, I'd love to give you a warm welcome. And also just to let everyone know that Marianne here has been an executive assistant for more than 30 years. And she is the owner of Time Flies Admin Services. And her experience includes both the corporate world, which has now transferred into small to medium-sized business owners, helping them every day. And I have to say, I love your business motto. Use my time, not yours. That's killer. I love it. And I think that's just something that all small business owners should take to heart, because it is such an important thing to do when you're getting started in your business. So in your own words, Marianne, tell me about yourself and what led you to become a virtual assistant.
Great. Well, first off, thanks for inviting me, Winnie. I'm really excited to be here with you this morning. I've been an executive assistant for over 30 years. It was a career of choice way back when, and I absolutely love what I do. Done a couple of other little things along the way, but it's definitely always gone back to what I have a passion for. So I started my business about 7 years ago, and I just support small to medium-sized business owners with their administrative work, all that stuff that piles up that a lot of people don't like to do, or they just don't have time to do, and then you end up spending your weekend time or your family time trying to catch up on all these administrative tasks. That's what I do.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. And who would you say is your most normal quote unquote customer? Who comes to you? Is it someone who's just starting out? Is it someone who's a little bit more into their business, or is it both?
It is both. I find that sometimes when people are starting out, they're really not sure what they want, and they're really hesitant to spend money. It's usually a very slow start. And those people tend to not come to a virtual assistant and really struggle. I have a mix of both. People who are just starting off in their business, who just want targeted help in certain areas. And then I have people who have long-term business where I'm picking up all kinds of little tasks because they're moving on and doing bigger things with their business.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And this is obviously, the main thing that everyone has to consider when they want to hire a virtual assistant, a VA. Well, but what is it that a VA can really help you do? Like, how do you help people be the most productive?
Right. So I find it's a bit of a three-step process. So the first step is really defining what you need help with, and what do you really need help with. So what are you comfortable giving away to someone else to do for you? Because that's the biggest part. If you can't let go of things, then somebody's not going to help you. And letting go means being open to ideas, being open to suggestions. So that really is the biggest, is finding the tasks that run you down, that you dislike doing, that you're comfortable delegating to somebody else, get them off your plate so that you have time to do something else.
Yes, absolutely. And do you offer any great advice for how people can start letting go of tasks? Like, are there a specific few tasks that you always recommend that people get started with?
I always say create a list. Create a list of all the tasks that you do, and then start checking off the ones that you can easily give to somebody else. Things that, I don't need to have my hands in this. I just need to make sure it gets done every month. Yeah. Or every week, whatever it is. And that's where I always say to start, because that also starts to build the trust in the relationship, where somebody's getting it done for you, you're happy with how it's getting done. Now I can give them a little something else and can gradually add to it.
No, that makes perfect sense. So you just grab your notebook and every day write a few things down, and then at the end of the month look to see, hey, what could I have actually handed over to someone else to free up time in my day?
Yeah, and when I look with that project too, a lot of people start doing that and they go, why am I doing this? I've been doing it for 3 years. I don't need to do it anymore. Let's check it off the list, get rid of that task, and let's start on something that's a little more productive for me.
Yeah, I know that when I talk to a lot of my clients who are small business owners, the main hesitation for them is they think that it's a very large investment that they have to make in hiring a VA. Some of these people have never had an employee or even anyone to help them. They've done everything up until this point. So what would you say to someone like that who really needs a virtual assistant, but who isn't really sure how many hours they need to commit to paying someone else every single month to do this?
Right. So find a virtual assistant that is going to be flexible. Not all virtual assistants need to have a huge bulk of hours every month. Some VAs maybe have little time slots available. So if it's only a couple of hours a month, just commit to giving a couple hours a month work and see how it goes from there.
That's great advice. And then from a cost point of view, obviously everyone's different. We all start at different levels. But would you say that there's a minimum ballpark that you should expect to be paying a virtual assistant per hour or per month or per week?
Yeah, I think it's all across the board, and I obviously can't speak for all VAs, but from what I've learned, if you're going to have a VA who is in North America, I'm going to say, I would say it's probably minimum $25 and up. And it's usually based on experience and knowledge, and you just go from there.
Yeah, and then I would probably add too that if that is the recommended price point, be careful to hire someone below that, because chances are they don't have the experience that you need, or they're not going to produce the same quality of work. So don't always cheapen out on those sort of things. Right?
Yeah, and you have to remember they're running a business too, just like you are. So they have expenses behind the scenes as well. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. So what is your most requested task? Like, what do most of your clients ask you to do on a consistent basis?
Wow. I think a big one is newsletters. They really like to get in front of their audience, and a newsletter can be time consuming. So that seems to be the biggest task that clients like, is to have a newsletter created for them and sent out. Also blogs, putting the blogs up on their website, doing website tweaks, and and branding, making sure all documents are branded and formatted. Those are probably the biggest tasks.
Yeah, like I can relate to that. Those are definitely time-consuming tasks, and sometimes you have a great idea and you can write the content really quickly, but actually the technical aspect of it's amazing how long those little things can take, and it really sucks your time and energy. But one thing that I'm really curious about, and that is, you do all of these tasks for everyone else. So you must be the most productive person in the world, basically, because not only do you have to do your own task, you have to do everyone else's task. So how do you keep yourself organized and productive in your day?
Yeah, good point. I'm very task driven, so I never really think of time management. I think of task management. What tasks need to be done when, what is the approximate amount of time? How can I poke away at it in little bits, and systems, just having a great system in place. So one of my absolute favorite apps, if I'm allowed.
Absolutely, go for it. That's what this is all about, sharing productivity tips.
Yeah, it's Trello. I love Trello. I love being able to have a separate board for all my clients. I love plugging in my due dates, my reminders, my notes, and I have some clients who actually use Trello as well. So we share boards and we put all of our information in a board, which minimizes the amount of email that goes back and forth.
Perfect. And for those who don't necessarily know what Trello is, can you just give like a quick summary of what it is, what it's able to do for you, and who can access it?
Yeah, so Trello has a free version, and that's pretty much what I use. And it is a task management, and I'm going to say / project management system. So if you picture a big, huge whiteboard, and you have all these Post-it notes all over it with your projects, and you pop them around and move them to different days of the week or under different projects, you can do all of that electronically in Trello.
Very nice. And does it also send you reminders when things are due?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. You can put due dates in there, move due dates around. You can send other people due dates. Yes.
Great. It sounds like it's a great resource for if you're working with teams specifically. So if you have shared tasks that are going between 2 or more people, this is a really great resource to keep everyone on track and monitor progress as well.
Yes.
That's excellent. Yeah. That's excellent. So obviously the big question is, I'm sure a lot of people here today are interested in learning how they can start working with you. What would be their step for getting to know you better and start working with you?
So actually, I have just created an email mini-series on how to plan and work with a virtual assistant.
Excellent.
So yeah, so it's totally free, and I'll share the link. But you can also go to my website, which is timeflies-adminservices.ca. And there's a bunch of resources there as well on how to work with a virtual assistant.
Amazing. And I know that you're both on Instagram, but also Facebook. Do you want to just throw out your handles there so that everyone has a chance to find you?
Yep, they're both the same, Time Flies Admin Services.
That's amazing. Well, this has been extremely educational. I will say that if anyone was on the fence before about hiring a virtual assistant, I hope that this is the little nudge that they need so that they will start hiring someone, whether it's you or someone else. Definitely find that person that works with you, that has the personality that goes along with your personality and who can really help you progress in your business. So this has been great. Thank you so much. And you mentioned that there was that little bit of a newsletter thing. Is that something that's a special offer, or how do they access that? Sorry, that was on your website?
Oh yes, I also do newsletter. I have a newsletter content creation plan. So I can help people put together a 6-month content plan very quickly with the 1 hour or 2 hours of your time. You'll have 6 months worth of content ready to go.
Perfect. That sounds like a great way to get started. So anything else you want to share with our audience today before we say our goodbyes?
Yeah, I just say plan. Don't wait until that moment when you're going crazy, going, oh my God, I need help. I can't do this all myself. Start planning ahead of time. And that's what the mini-series does. It helps you plan. It walks you through steps, all of the pre-work, so that when you're ready to hire, you have your pre-work ready to go and you know where to start.
Absolutely.
So don't wait until you're in the thick of things, because that's a really hard time to bring somebody on and teach them and train them.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. I always go by this saying, build your well before you're thirsty. So always put those systems in place, right? You don't want to be at a point where you're so overwhelmed that you can't even reach out to someone because you have so much on your plate. So absolutely.
That's a great saying.
Wonderful advice. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a very productive day and that everyone will take the opportunity to reach out and learn more about how to work with a virtual assistant. So thank you. That is the end of today's episode. I will just say my goodbyes and that's it.
Great. Bye, Winnie. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining today. So that is the end of today's episode. Next week, we are going to be back and we're going to be talking a little bit more about productivity tools and different things that you can use in your everyday. And next week, it's going to be all about time budgets. And if you don't know what a time budget is, it's an excellent tool for how you can plan your perfect week so that you know exactly what hours you have left every single day so that you can have more freedom in your business and in your life and focus on what you need to focus on at the correct times. So we will be talking about that next week. That's right here on next Friday at 9:30 a.m. So have a positive day, everyone. And thanks again, Marianne, for joining us. And we will see you next time. Have a positive day.